I've decided to become a content creator at 47. So this is one of the more structured videos I have. I have a few notes here, so bear with me through this because I don't think I've done one like this before. So I might just be looking down to read some notes so that I don't forget anything. But first thing, why did I decide this and how did I decide this, I guess? So I was shaving a few minutes ago and I decided that was it. I don't need anyone's permission. I didn't have to think long and hard about it, or going back to school, or going and learning a new skill or course or anything like that. I'm just going to do it. And in this permissionless, this society, you can just decide to do things. I think that's important to acknowledge. So when I'm doing things like, shaving, brushing my teeth, washing the dishes, things like that, I have all these ideas that are running through my head. And I always find that I can't wait to get back to my phone or computer or my notebook to write things down and capture them. So when I have things like that running through my head, it excites me and I feel I need to follow that path. So, over the past few years, while I've been trying to decide what's next for me, I've never made a tangible decision on what that would be. It's always been this vague thing in the air, like going this path or that path, but not really identifying it by name. And so I think with content creation, I need to commit to a tangible path so that I can allow the universe to give me what I need along the way to succeed. Now, I'm a big believer in manifestation, in the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, the belief system you have. And that belief system allows things to come into your life that you need. You don't have to know the how of something that's going to happen. All you have to know is where your outcome needs to be, what goal you want to have, what you want to achieve. And the universe will take care of that, putting things in your path to get you there. So, and I've realized my language needs to be more prescriptive. I need to use terms like want to become a content creator. I can't just want to do something out there and not know what that is. So once you've aligned on that, and the universe does put things in your path to get there. So you just have to commit to what you really want. So I'll go into the reasons why I've decided this shortly, but I did first want to touch on a few things and on why this might not align with the traditional way of doing things, right? So, and also why it's important to follow your instinct to find where you need to be. So the normal career path when you're going through your career generally involves a few avenues, right? Career path or career change, because I know a lot of people are changing their careers midway through and getting tired of what they're doing, so they want to move into something else, or just wanting to stay on the same career path and doing very similar things. So it's either you climbing the ladder within the company that you are at, you're changing jobs to something somewhat similar at a different company and you get a pay rise or a job title bump, or you're changing jobs to something completely different, and that involves going back to school, learning a new skill, etc., a new trade, whatever. And I guess the third one, changing jobs to something completely different, is kind of what I'm thinking of doing right now, except that I'm not looking at this in a traditional, normal kind of job where I'm having someone else dictate to me, right? I want to own my own time. I think that's important, not having someone dictate that to me. And for a long time, I've known this, probably throughout my entire career, but you have to build something when you're young. And I think I also knew that. So I spent the last 20 odd years in corporate kind of environments where this has been the case. You have to fit in, and so I wouldn't say I'm employable in that sense, but I've taken decisions to fit in, to scale myself down a bit, to make myself smaller, to fit in those, because you realize at that point you've also, rightly or wrongly, you want to build something sustainable so that you can retire well and etc. You've got this whole system in place in our society where you have to do things in a certain way to get to your retirement age and be comfortable, instead of not being able to sustain your lifestyle, etc. once you retire. So it's very much been against my nature for a long period of time, and it does take its toll over time on you, especially if you have what I figured out is my kind of personality, where I like to do things on my own terms and when I want to do them. So I've made the conscious decision to move away from that at some point down the line, and this is the first step to doing that, because while I want it to happen immediately, and we all want the instant gratification of something new immediately, I've learned throughout my life that it does take time to build things. So, as a caveat, I'll also say that I've been fortunate enough to have settled into this career that pays me well, and it does allow me to explore these new kind of paths in my spare time. But I also do know that I don't want to continue this kind of work for the bulk of my day for the next 20 years. I want to be doing something that I enjoy. And so with that, I'll kind of go into the reasons why and I'm going to go back into my notes a little bit more here. So why now, first of all? So I've seen a lot of stories lately in my feed, and maybe it's just the way I'm browsing the internet right now, but people being laid off. I've seen our company have a couple of big rounds of layoffs, and it's not pleasant to see. People get impacted, and it's hard for everyone involved, particularly for those who are the ones, immediately and directly impacted. So people are really afraid of their jobs right now, like losing their jobs right now. And whether this comes by layoff, or whether it just becomes by being sick of your job or wanting something different or whatever it is, I believe it's the right time to prepare for what's coming next. And content creation feels like the right thing to do. Is this correct? I don't know. I don't know what the future's going to hold, but I think I'm preparing for this in the way that I think is going to be helpful to me in the future. It might not be for everyone to do. Everyone has a different path, but this is my belief that this is what the next generation of work is going to be like. And content creation is what's going to lead to opportunities, if not a direct income stream. So, is this correct? I don't know, but I do know it feels more right than moving into something that is very similar to what I'd be doing right now, and that I may not enjoy, or for being out of work for an extended period of time without having any sort of options. So this, placing bets on this making and creating optionality for me. And so that's why now, I think it's the right time. I think the environment we're living in does lend itself for anyone to be able to do this without permission. One of the first reasons is that why I want to do this is that I want to help people, and that's my ultimate goal, right? The more I get into watching this world of creators and seeing their potential reach, it feels like a right medium to be able to impact people on a large scale. So I've gained a lot of knowledge over a long time working with different types of people, different cultures, talking to people, and just, improving myself so that I feel I got this genuine knowledge that I can help to make a difference in people's lives. I've got a younger brother who's been struggling for a long time, and I've been trying to help him with a few things, and I think it's starting to get through to him, and I feel like I want to explore how to do this on a larger scale. And I think with content and the internet, that allows us to happen now. So, am I afraid of failing? Of course. I have a huge fear of failure, and also a fear of judgment. And but what I've learned is that you have to confront these fears, and you have to ask yourself why they exist. So once you've asked yourself why they exist, you have to figure out if they're warranted, or if the upside of succeeding, so are these fears warranted, or does the upside of succeeding outweigh those fears? And in this case, I think the upside is just too big to ignore. I think I can help a lot of people with this, my 47 years of experience in this world, and I can potentially create a new career. So that's the upside here. The downside is, might I be embarrassed by people I know seeing my content and laughing at that? Of course. Might I be upset and embarrassed by people seeing it and judging me and seeing me fail? Yeah, I'm afraid of that. But I've decided I care more about my future versus what other people think of me. And that's an important distinction. I think you have to understand that people's opinions should be lower than what you want your future to be. Make that decision on a conscious level. So those are the main reasons. Am I too late to be getting into this? I don't know. I'll only know by trying this out, being consistent, continually iterating and improving at this. What I know is I've always been a late starter. So, but once I get the hang of something, I generally succeed at it. So that's kind of given me the confidence to do this. Who knows whether it will be a success or not? Again, like one of my earlier videos, you only fail once you stop trying to do what you're trying to achieve. And so you can pivot as many times as you want. You can keep trying and be consistent with something. And I think that's the way the system of success generally works. And so that's what I'll be taking into this, implementing that kind of system with the ability to adapt and pivot when needed. And so we'll see. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I don't really have anything much further to say beyond that. So again, thanks for listening. We'll continue this. This is my third video this week. I've done 3 per week for 3 weeks now. So this will continue for as long as I can do this. I've said I've committed to doing this for 1 year. So let's see how that goes. Thanks again for watching.